Once upon a quiet little street, nestled between green hills and sprawling meadows, stood a peculiar house known to all as the Whispers Keep. It earned this name from its ivy-covered walls that seemed to whisper mysterious stories of times gone by whenever the wind blew through the leaves. In this serene setting, no one ever expected anything out of the ordinary to occur. That is until one bright sunny morning, when a clumsy little mouse named Max stumbled upon an open window and couldn't resist the temptation of exploring the grand old house. Max was no ordinary mouse. He wore tiny round glasses and had a knack for getting into mischief. His friends in the meadow called him Max the Brave, not just because he was overly brave, but because his curious nature often led him into different kinds of adventures. As Max scrambled through the open window, he found himself in a room full of bookcases. The light filtered through dusty windows, making thousands of tiny dust particles dance in the air like little fairies. Mesmerized by a particular book on the highest shelf titled Enchanted Tales of Trapped Treasures, Max decided he simply had to have a peek. He began to climb using his nimble paws, making his way up the towering bookcase. Just as he reached the top, he tugged a little too hard on the book, causing it and several others to cascade to the floor. All the commotion startled Max, and before he knew it, a trap door beneath him creaked open, sending him tumbling down into a secret chamber within the house. Landing with a bump, Max found himself in a hidden room. It was full of ancient-looking scrolls, rusty keys, and tools covered in cobwebs. Max's tiny heart raced as he realized he was locked in. He had become a prisoner in the Whispers Keep. Despite his predicament, Max the Brave was determined to escape. After the initial shock, he reminded himself of all the great heroes he'd read about. He hadn't spent countless nights poring over tales of adventure and courage for nothing. He examined the room carefully, noticing a rusty key perched atop a shelf within the corner. "I just need to find some way to reach it," he told himself. Using strings unwound from a nearby tapestry and some broken twigs, Max fashioned a rudimentary catapult. After several attempts, full of misfires and almost giving UPS, he finally managed to launch a small pebble that knocked the key off the shelf and into his tiny paws. With the key in hand, Max approached the door. He inserted the key into the heavy lock and with a great deal of effort turned it. The door groaned open, and he scampered up the stairs, making his way back to the book-filled room. Max dusted himself off and scurried back to the window. He looked back at the grand room, as if it was thanking an old friend for a captivating adventure. With a smile, Max the Brave tiptoed back out through the window and into the sunshine. Back home in the meadows, Max regaled his friends with the tales of Whispers Keep, and how he had become a prisoner and an escape artist all in the same day. His friends, of course, loved the story and teased him, calling him Max the Escape Artist. As they settled under the shade of a grand oak tree, dreaming up more adventures to come,